The program now Good Morning Salute the country from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. As we don't introduce with studio guest earlier, we are the Minister for Information and Civic Education, Chernor. We can talk about the civic engagement them with the ministry don't they engage and the waiting at the results them and other activities them with governments don't they do. Once again, good morning and welcome to the program Good Morning Salute.
Good morning, thanks for having me again.
Okay, will we start with the waiting earlier I don't mention the Minister of Information and Civic Education don't they engage in plenty civic activities them civic conferences them lately we see una been they Cambia. But before we look at the one at Cambia, somebody they listen to what is the essence of the civic meetings here with the Minister of Information and Civic Education the all a different side them.
As you know, he pleased His Excellency for set up the first Ministry for Civic Education in the history of Salone. We grandpa there, we uncle there, we mama then always tell, we say in we own days we been get civics na school. So we understand we history, we know we responsibility. As a ministry, I been can announce now say we busy to set up the civic strategy first. So we turn to UNESCO, whether under the global leaders, then Canada they look at specific strategy, then say that one of the best we don't see in the world. Then send the regional director for CAM launcher with we last December. And inside that civic strategy, we get the school-based, we have to look at the curriculum, NACID the lead on that. We get the community-based, and then we get basic things around governance, which you do for bridge the gap between the citizens and the government. For make sure, say, as a state, we continue for create a culture of democracy, a culture of engagement. As part of that, as soon as I know every week we do a press conference, today we get that, unprecedented in this country. If there's an issue that's going on, una know say on Tuesday, no less a person was a day to no well na me as the minister the day for answer any and all questions in a language you people understand, and I bring the top people across government from the chief minister to the vice president, so even His Excellency the president who don't host down a town hall, which is something we plan for doing again today. So it's about bridging the gap, making sure citizens they understand say we they work for una and una can get opportunity to ask questions. Last year December we do the big one. When at the festival. With that festival, they will look at the entire year. What thing government don't do for you, we give you opportunity for them to ask questions. We do exhibitions, we do music, we celebrate Salone, we bring the country can together. When I remember say the Honorable IB Carbo, they na stage with me as co-chair of the Civic Festival, representing the other political party. But as a veteran, when I've been persuading at the Ministry of Information, we talk about what we need for bringing the country together. Abdul Kago being in one of the panel them. So we had about 6 different town halls, full town halls, where citizens and go par President Bill go and observe within every single ministry don't do. So one of the feedback they will get Musa and Usman are that we not for just staying a free turn. We too for do for take this across the country. So we come up with a new strategy this year. We're a part of we engagement for the year. We do civic days. Every single district we take a mini version of the festival. We bring in Canada districts. We bring camp for Cambia. We'll be able to get 12 top leaders across government. Chairman KKY, the Attorney General, Minister of Justice, the Minister of Local Governments, Minister of Energy, Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Head of Public Health Agency, Head of Statistics, Leone. We had a galaxy. We get the Assistant Commissioner for Border, because Cambia and a border district. So we had 12 top leaders in government for come to the people of Cambia, for can reports. What do we do, not just based on delivery of the Big Five, but how Cambia don't benefit.
Okay.
And then we give them the microphone. I want to just say something about Cambia. We take over 30 different questions, unfiltered. By the way, we'll get the chairman, we'll get a youth leader at the panel as well. We take 30 different questions. I see ordinary citizens, some man they cry. One of the chief them, he talked to, he was so passionate. What are they running here? He said for the first time, as Cambian citizens, government can to them. We not count for acts for votes. We count for reports.
Right.
and engage them in the democratic process. So what would they do? Now exactly that. For let the citizens then feel connected to the government, for let the hold we accountable, and for let we self do better for the people of each and every part of this country.
All right, most we UK or we the ministry can organize some of them press conference here for let people connect with government. When I can get specific areas that want to talk about. For Cambia, within specific want to talk about.
So for Cambia, we burden and small. As I say, we look at first energy, because the own son of the soil, Chairman KKY Kande Yomkela Bindidi, for talk about energy, climate, and food security. So that'll be one big side that we would cover. We cover constitutional review and tripartite. The Attorney General line covered, and they did a fantastic job, really breaking down for them. We talk about the upcoming census. We talk about local governance issues na Cambia. The Minister of Local Government, he talk about the paramount chiefs, he talk about what's not the local government issue, the council, the issues when they go with bosses, and then the statistics. Public health agency talk about MPOX. We say, hey, so what's you? This not basically not be a day for like government come into Cambia in a way we did not experience before. So any issue being at the mind, by the way, we go ahead of time. We send an advance team. We conduct a vox pop. We understand which are the issues. I make we invite NRA for camp for talk about the border, because NRA Cambia, they are affected by a lot of the issues that they happen at the border. So we'll go for go to put local with it next. We get a standard set of issues. For example, we always do tripartite constitutional review. We go always do census. We go always do public health. But then, depending on the districts, we also go add specific issues. Of course, Big Five go did it. By the way, day one, we've been focused on technology and innovation, because we've been getting minister for technology and innovation, because day one now they do with young people. Okay. For let young people learn self get direct access. We're not there no more. No old person, this, that. We just focus with young people. We get a debate in Creole, school debate. The school picking and talk about what they understand about technology and innovation and the ills of technology and the promise of technology. Right. We do so as a ministry, as a government. It's not President Bill in vision. Say we need for break the silo. We don't need for left governance. Say come with the free talk. We speak them belly English where nobody know they understand. Right. But we go to the people. We engage with them. We listen. We learn. And we adjust, because it's also important for the family and also we'll not just go Cambia for go talk. Plenty substantive issues and come up. Right. We address the issue, then they talk about them boss. We the tire park, the school bus. We are dealing with that now. Then talk about fire force. Immediately as I come back, we report to the Minister for Internal Affairs. We can work on that now for make sure say them fire service. So it's not just that we go there, then talk about roads. Okay. Chairman KKY reports on projects where government already secure funding for, and the other one they would do. So again, then they provide input into the governance process. We they respond and make let them know say then a part and parcel of the governance infrastructure of this country, and they would work for. That's what this is.
All right, before we go for break, one thing you mentioned we want to talk about get for do with the energy sector. As of now, what's the status of Cambia in terms of energy?
Very interesting conversation. For the first time we do something, we'll go Cambia. Chairman KKY invites the contractor. You see, all man they talk about governments for gay lights na Cambia. You see, but most often the contractor they get millions of dollars, but they know they ever report. People don't know they're invisible. So we bring Mr. Jones, we are the contractor for Ministry of Energy na Cambia, for come and talk to the people them, for answer the people in question. So he talk, for example, say, well, two sides. One, when I remember say poll been for them, it been go all over social media. Then the people then say na a product of the contractor in substandard work. And then the allegation. They say they want justice, they want accountability. We commit for do a couple of things. Me and Chairman KKY say we work on this initiative. I don't talk to the head of NPPA. Say we get for the publish the list of contractors per ministry and the primary people that we they be and then contractor then they. Because sometimes na them, minister not do minister not they take the money go implement. They don't go through a procurement process. They all na the contractor sometimes they all the money then do substandard work. So we bring this contractor come. People them been so happy for Siam for ask and direct question. But himself challenge them. He say they don't build up to 16 transformer them. na Cambia. 6 of them transformer then the people that don't well. 6. God make who been there, chairman of the council been there, all the paramount chief them be there, all the leader them be there. So say for turn to they will say, if governments provide, now una your job for secure as a people, no matter what to do, they're not your civic responsibility that they hold the mic, then committed, then go do better, then go protect. So this is why platform like this important. So on the issue of energy, I asked that question we do ask so direct. Because we myself in the Cambia, I feel the fact say Cambia not get light. So I asked the people in front of the Deputy Minister of Energy Bindede, Mr. Nuni, as I said, Chairman Kekwa Bindede, we asked the contractor when Cambia lights will come on, at least inside Cambia town where they don't do most of the work. He say if governments pay, latest 3 months come now, then go turn the lights on. If governments pay, now be the only condition and the way give say government for pay, of course the invoice they don't give. But they also get plan for the rural electrification at Cambia. Chairman Kekwa announced that for the most rural area then they work with one of the top company in the country we then call Easy Solar. And Easy Solar gets this package and they work with Irish Aid for make sure say every rural home get a baseline solar electrification. So if now basic light bulb and place for charge and things like that, we people in the pay for small at a subsidized rate and for the rural area. So in terms of government in plan, of course, we hear a lot about plans and for deal with electrification at the country. The Deputy Minister of Energy said the ambition that by 2028 the country will get near 24-hour light. That's the ambition, and they work really hard on that.
Now, one thing you self-mentioned on one of the topics the Mona discussed na Cambia na light, and the concern will come up now, allegation or concern of substandard work by the contractor. If you see the pole way for done with them, EDSA will command them, we at least one end up for die and the other one damage. The pole not gets even enough iron rod there inside. That's one from the contractor or from the people on the contractor. The contractor on the other side say, where it build the transformer, people in the destroyer. How this civic education go address some of them things here, so we already don't be done.
Musa, that's a perfect question. That's exactly what make we go in our communities. That's not exactly the reason we make, because in the governance process, everybody get for play in your role. And we need for do them in a transparent manner. If the contractor gets in contract, nobody know about them. We just talk no more into the abyss. If people are not able to hold that contractor accountable, if they're not able to hold the ministry, the government accountable, we know they move go forward in the way. So government go to spend money, somebody do substandard work, the people know they get a result, the ordinary person they well. So within the Civic Day series they do, now for bring everybody around the table, for talk about the importance of this. We ask the people of Cambia, so we don't want light, they say yes, we want light. Well, now on our job as well as citizens and get civil society group then say safe wants for be part of the monitoring of contractors not in district. So, but if that contractor is listed, we know it in terms of reference, we know what he's supposed to do, then civil society go check what he do. You know, the people then supposed for make sure they don't pour lengthen and they then provide the security at that level there. But then they get for come with this sense of civic pride, sense of ownership, say Salone big pass we all, Salone are for we all, and that the investments we government they make now for we. And I want to say I really commend the people of Cambia. I really see a sense of, you know, Cambia now one of the districts that we pride themselves in and get 3 political parties. It's a very diverse district in terms of ethnicity. Then gets over, I think they get paramount chiefs from at least 5 or 6 different ethnic groups across the country, and then show up, then show say even when they disagree, even when they pick up the mic, some of them get so much passionate things for talk against government, but then being appreciate the platform, then come day, then stay for 2 days. Day 2 we sit down on the sun for over 5 hours. Imagine a month of Ramadan. 3 hours in, I want to say, hey, this fast day, so I will end the program. And then I say, no. They want for talk. They want for listen. They want for engage. Because as I say, we talk, we are not going to ever forget. Now one woman where they talk almost in tears, and one chief where they almost say, never, they don't ever get this opportunity when they see government come to them, top government officials, and they not can ask for votes. That na the transformation where President Bill they puts in this country say we for change the governance dynamic. That's not for just be say the interaction between the citizen and the government. Now during the term no more come for campaign, but we can bring a whole governance system for kind of get nothing for do with elections.
Okay.
It gets a bipartisan feel actually, or multi-partisan feel for let we talk, for let move the country go.
Still get for do with the engagements na Cambia. Cambia and aside we business and the run day. And one of the things they wanna look at to get for do with the border control. Within the people explain you na saying that the issue where they happen at that party.
Well, I mean a very important part of the conversation. In fact, I think a good chunk, about 20% of the questions that will come up. We've been getting as I said, the Assistant Commissioner John Amara, we are in charge of border control for the entire country, and he bring coming staff. In fact, NIA for getting credit. They've even set up a booth at this Civic Day for tell people and say if you want more information, go there. Let's talk about what's for happen. The commissioner say the only way we will be able for man with border and I will work with the local community. And he open up and say, look, we give now access in case we want for can provide tip information for different rewards. We will do that and then they set up a scheme for that. The people then complain about one thing, then say they don't get enough people that would work for NIA, and based on the local content rule that border they then go on for see more Cambians then be employed by the people by NIA, and NIA say then will take that information they forward. NIA say look now fair employment scheme we get, but we really glad you would partner with NIA for them here because they need for talk about taxes. Taxes are part of with civic duty, but not just for pay tax, because most times you already pay the tax, but the tax they end up now the business money, and because you don't ask for your receipt, you don't ask for a GST receipt, you don't check if the product you buy get the NIA stamp, then what's they now, then drinks and now and all that, and they even fuel and all that. So not just for the family understanding thing and they, but in terms of the border, people then say their life they intertwine with what's in the happen again. And sometimes we then talk about, for example, exporting of rice. So we then produce some rice. Sometimes then they easier for them for let them go sell across. So we talk about what are the incentives that we need for provide for them, for make sure say if them produce them goods them and assets them, then we can sell inside here so we country go benefit. So now we talk about good roads, make sure say they get electricity, make sure say we provide additional incentives. So again, that been just a frank family conversation about these issues.
Now, earlier where you start for say you talk about the civic issue, say free Chernor to Salone, and when I get for the go across a different side. But when you talk about a planned activity, you always talk about the budgets. Who side the Minister of Information they get the couple? Is it from una console una own funding way then can allocate to una get a project una can write for this civic engagement there across Salone?
It's a combination. So one, as a ministry, we get different partnerships. I just mentioned, for example, NRA. We get different other institutions and we partner with the ministry. They come in because, like I say, they provide a platform, then self the benefit. Statistics say Leone, for example, get for do census, then get resources. So instead of all man go yongo, we try for consolidate. In that way, they would get more impact because everybody did we blanket Cambia and we play alive across the country than they get for cost resources. Ministry of Finance, the allocation to we, especially for things like the tripartite, for things we need for do as the ministry for continue for engage the public constitutional review, that resources there, but that resources is not going to be enough. We get a set of different partners that would engage. Sometimes we write to the banks, sometimes we write to ports, we write to, as I say, NRA, we write to different, including some private sector organizations, like for example Moliba, we will engage here and give Motuka. So sometimes we engage with different sectors follow mobilize the resources. We go put local, we go for be a mine in town, we go for engage the companies that we they put local, because then self need for come for let them be accountable to the people of put local. For say, hey, now this we don't do. We go for access, we bring local content. We want for know how many people not don't hire, how many locals they don't what we don't do as part of a corporate social responsibility, but at the highest platform. That's where the people
in the situation that companies are una is it then go they under duress?
No, of course not. But of course, you know me now. Me not go put anybody under duress for that. And I made the baseline resource there with the ministry, with the government of Salone, at the baseline. With the government and resources, we're able to go off first. And most of the other partners that would engage now within government agencies. Nobody not the under duress
what's
whatsoever.
our budget line for the civic engagement?
It depends. Obviously, there's a difference between if you want to go to an Akambia versus if you want to go to an Chernor. So each one gets.
I mean, total when for the national engagement.
We not get like a total one right now for everything because we take a month by month. So, for example, we just don't do the Cambia own. Okay, before at the end of we don't done all the accounting and all that the team. But one of the things that I don't do, by the way, in as leader of the ministry, before I come there, Musa, almost every time we Ministry of Information get something. When I reach Chernor ministry, they will not get we own sound system. So now they money they go boku. We not get we own cameras. Now they money they go always for rents, dancing. And if you think about what's in the budget line in the door, we don't buy we own. We get we own sound system. Now it's mostly about transporting it, thanks to UNDP, thanks to the Chinese government, their support for that. So now one of the things that we put in place, we're in the process for order we own cameras. So now we will cover we own event live. We get we own screens. Remember what cam they do then screen them.
So that's
they
not
for
give
project.
media again contract.
No, not to follow no give me their contract because you ask this question about projects. If you
Just-
think about
just
the
pulling
public
it.
money, no, we want for give me their contract. In fact, Una still go carry we live, but now we go get the platform for make sure say the quality of what they produce, we get control over them, and we'll be able for give people a multiple views and all that in there. So now one of the things we made it try for do now for make sure say we get a long term. So after 1 year, I tell the team, everything we do in a normal thing, we're not supposed to outsource and to contractor anymore. If not some tool they do not this ministry, camera, video, sound, audio, we should not be giving contractors. That they the money they go. But now because we don't invest now with the Biden thing and therefore we say as a ministry, now part of we don't go land there for make sure say we not just spend government resources frivolously.
All right. One of the challenge we the Cambia district they face, somebody just write on our Facebook page, get for do with water. When I talk anything, we get for do with water for people that are
we'll not been get the water resources agency in this way town hall will go, but people didn't talk about different services. We've been getting, as I say, local government minister been there. We've got the chairman of the council been there with we at the panel as well for us then questioning and what we commit to doing was and I made this a very public commitment. So we're not being get education they but school picking them in Bokude, university student in Bokude, they may get plenty questions on education. Me job, as soon as I can see what kind of this studio and also when I get that question and they can ask me about other things in governance, I'm happy to answer. Me job now for talk for the rest of government. So even when I don't get the answer, I can commit for do a few things. One, I can go look for the answer. I get access to all my colleagues across government. So on things like water, on things like education, would they collect them questions and know people they ask? Would they engage one-on-one? Internal affairs not been there, but as I say, would they deal with the fire force issue or make sure so we get access to fire equipment there as well and for equip the fire station within Akambia. So me own job now for take all them views in there, me team they collate them well, and we come back and engage the veil because we know we get every government ministry department. We had 12, 13 people on the panel this time. We would go put local with the targets. I think we'll line now one for the group, each panel is 10. So we get 10 different people in over a 3-4 hour period. We engage, we get all the questions answered, but we want to make sure say it's relevant and that people can ask anything with they want across government, but that we come back now and work with the council for provide answer to them.
As you talk about fire force, this brings me to the question, not to Cambia no more, even at Tongia. Fire force now one of the institutions them we understaff, not get equipment and the rest. And over the past year, people only blame them say they're not able for respond to fire during the time we then can call them. If you go to the office now, Tower Hill, you're not in that kind of condition, even Aberdeen. Waiting the government to do as way for empower that institution they because now very very important institution. We don't see the fire incidents them recently, even yesterday in an area to be fire again. So we think government don't do for empower them.
So a few things need to happen. I'm glad we asked about fire force. Fire force is one of the most important institutions in the civic life of the country. If you go to the West, picking the women small as part of civics and they aspire for become firemen and firewomen because the fire institution has a sense of service. Unfortunately, in this country over the years, we don't invest in the way we're supposed to invest and then they affect me. Every day, by the way, I want to give particular kudos to the new Minister of Internal Affairs, Morilengo, ASQ. It provide timely update to we all with the cabinet about every fire incident across the country. And I have to tell you something, Usman. We get a crisis every day. At least every day from we minister they provide updates. We get at least 3, 4, 5 fire incidents across the country. Not just Freetown, all kind different causes of fire incident. Just last night he say motorcar and catch fire, some side 5 motorcar and burn and all that. Where I come back and they discuss about this Cambia issue. Cambia then gets the station, but they're not getting no equipment. So we talk about the resource constraint we then get, about in plan we don't put in place. They already secure resources. Then they equip, add I think additional 4 stations that they want for fully equipped, make sure say then they are across the country. But then they still grossly inadequate. We get for increased investment. We get for increase the capacity of the fire station. And then so we already get the laws. In fact, one of the things the way President Bill be instruct is that the fire department and the Ministry of Information and Civic Education for work together for increased fire awareness, fire safety awareness across the country. Now, one of the things that I think we add now to the civic days, they go, many internal affairs minister be talking, say, why we're not bringing we come and say, yes, we need to do that. We need to put specific booth. We will talk about fire. We will share papers about basic things you can do. If you just turn off your appliances, no overload appliances. People don't know them basic things in there. If you do them basic things in there, it will reduce the likelihood of fire. And then I hear you to ask just now about waiting at the hotline, right? Most people still don't know the numbers. But their number then they're supposed for they available to we all the time. And because some of the numbers are different based on the area where you day and whose number for call. So we need to create a system. We the citizens they need to do better in terms of that. The government needs to do better. I can assure you, say the Minister of Internal Affairs, that's something this way at top of in priority. They remind we every day and they work really hard for solve this problem.
Good morning, Salona. The program in the country from 98.1 FM. We still get the Minister for Information and Civic Education, Chernor, where they talk about activities them where government they do. Earlier we don't talk about the civic education and civic engagement the way they do na different side them na the country. Make we can now to other activities them of the president. Of course, Monday, Sunday we see Salone observe the Eid al-Fitr prayer, and now State Lodge we see different political figures then being come together for Campri with the president. One of them na Chief Sam Sumana, we are the first time vice president. What in exactly trigger this meeting and what it mean for the country?
Well, President Bill is a very generous man. And as we say, I can like for tell people and say, if you think so you can't see religious tolerance, Salone way more religious tolerant than you. As you know, His Excellency, the first gentleman of the country, I practice in Catholic. He say, in fact, in the morning he asks himself, I go church today or I go mosque. And he be very proud for say, in WEF, Madam First Lady, Madam Fatima Madabio, practicing Muslim throughout the period of Ramadan, not just in the Honorable Vice President, the Chief Minister, across government. Everybody don't they focus on waiting with the ghee, how they support with Muslim brothers and sisters. And the First Lady don't they host this in prayers every time. Now the People's House, as he call them for we all. So in the People's House, he open. Where we go there for go pray, His Excellency, they ask if you're the APC, if you're the SLPP, they respect everybody. And because now we get a big heart, and because now we a statesman, a leader, he welcome everybody. So we've been glad for Sise, Alhaji Chief Sam Sumana, he come, I see he come into Isidom, he come for join. The girl side for because that night house of prayer on that day in that moment, then President Bill says something very important. He say we need for facts for maintain the culture of this country and for reject any attempts for try for divide we along religion. He say also pay attention to brands of different religion, whether not Islam or Christianity. We they can say, oh, because you're a Muslim, for mix with the one in there. We they can try for push we into extreme. So His Excellency, by an example between in and in WEF, by the example of the Honorable Vice President, by the example of the rest of the country, we don't show say winner Salone. When it comes to the issue of faith, we know they allow anything come between we and the president and the first lady. That are the example we then set for the rest of the country.
You say that didn't have been prayer. Anybody, a Australian citizen, can go in a state lodge and pray. They no go ask you who say come out who's in affiliation. That's not been the situation of the first time vice president or in good on invitation.
No, me no. What I know is that as long as prayer day in a state house, every Sierra Leonean is invited, including the former vice president. What's the mommy and the party host that prayer day? Yourself, I see some journalists them, you dress, you go through the security check, you are welcome. So I no go for report to you say, oh, they may get a special invitation. I know say in the people's house, the mommy column, every citizen is welcome. And in obviously a former a statesman as a former vice president, we can day His Excellency on a day like that, we accord them the full respect we go accord any other senior citizen. We walk through that doors day for can share with His Excellency on that very blessed day when at the feast of Eid al-Fitr, where we Muslim then they celebrate the end of Ramadan and the beginning of the Eid period.
All right, we'll cover to you shortly because we get a few things that we want for clear, but we'll take work about when we come. We continue to look at more issues. The program Good Morning Salone, they continue as you reap one of headline story them inside the program this morning. President Biodo appoints Dr. Sylvia Olainka-Blyden for be the gender advisor na State House. Well, we did try for call Dr. Sylvia because he may say he go talk on this issue.
Yes, of course. For response, I will receive the appointment. As they try for pick am still, we can get the Minister for Information and Civic Education for do this confirmation and comment on it. Sylvia appointment as gender advisor.
You know, say na April abone, when I know say na April abone. So today that una news that the left una alone confirm and force. Una I've never I let the news left so una confirm
not true or
we then call no today April 1 la no begin the week by saying waiting at true waiting not to and the left than they give una. Una use una your means.
So man, why give you play April Fool?
You know, the tradition of you know Salone and Radio Democracy every year we can try for do things different, but we just want for tell listeners say today April 1st and today na April Fool.
Right now.
Alright, the program Good Morning Salone they continue. Still get for do with some issues them inside the program. Firstly, we start with a report we come out this PNTM. We rate Salone 146 out of 147 that we not glad. Government don't see this report.
Any report we place Salone at the bottom of any index of something we care about. The importance say government care because it's fair say we not true say as government we always elevate reports that we don't show so we don't make big progress. You take corruption index, you take MCC, you take every other thing we look at in terms of development, President Bureau investment, don't show say we don't grow at the index and day. These reports I go and watch the fine print. Which they take for measure, which they call happiness. Keep in mind they take the entire world, then get a single survey. The most important way they take for measure, then say people their response to specific questions. As minister, I've been curious. God don't give me a lot of privilege in this world. I don't travel to over 85 countries. It's not way by the way before I turn minister. I don't go to the top country, to the bottom country, every single place in the world. So for me, I decided the one that's for to say we are the most unhappy country in the world. So I look at what they take. So of course they get the objective main measures that we need to take secondary data, GDP, life expectancy. No one in there you can't argue with them. But one of the big factors that we consider are what they call generosity. And you know how they measure generosity, and they ask a simple question. You don't donate money for charity in the past month, so they measure generosity by whether you don't give money to NGO. Usman, Musa, if you ask any Sierra Leonean, you don't give money to NGO, we know an NGO to give you money. But does that mean we are not generous? Today, God forbid, any problem happen to you. Me, you know, two folks now can go out to the good club, but you know, say if you call me, you say, Siba, I get this problem, I jam. you expect, say, as a human being, because of this relationship, I dey give you. Yesterday, Eid, the number of ordinary poor people there we don't give. You go to a village now, you go to any of my village and people not get money. So wait, I dey say the measure we didn't take for the thing that we didn't take for measure, some of them not context appropriate for Salone. Generosity, they measure them by just how money you don't get to charity. They're not applicable to we. But for say we know the gain a Salone, Salone man a generous spirit. The second one we they measure for just draw our attention to, then call them social support. The question is, if you're in trouble, you get relatives or friends where you go count on for help you whenever you need them. Hey, go East Africa, you go Ethiopia, you go Kenya, and get higher GDP than we. You get families in the streets, mama, papa, pikin, uncle, they live on the streets. Then they almost impossible in a Salone. No matter how poor you are, if you knock on anybody in door, your family, person the day with the open. I know they say the reports not getting them, but they say this is not a global report. If you read the fine print, they even tell you say be careful for take this report for make overarching conclusions. Then say because some of the measures that we don't take, they had to do a standardized measure across the board. But frankly, I tell people and say, read the report yourself and ask yourself that basic question. We are the least generous people in the world. We will not get signed for social support. The third measure is whether you feel say you get complete control of your life. We are God people in Nigeria. If you ask a Sierra Leonean, you think say you get complete control over your life, you go with the time to be life outcome. So the average Salomon will tell you say,
as we not get better time again, Mr. Minister, from government point of view, for Salone, Mandem Gladi.
No, you see, the question of Gladi, if Mandem Gladi versus whether we're not happy people in general, those are two slightly separate.
I mean, it's not just Creole,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I want for separate and small, because we say again this question of generosity is not to basically now elect somebody not Gladi. I just come a Cambia. People they want plenty thing. I felt the passion. People they not get good road. They not get there are lots of issues. I understand that, but for say we are the least happy people on earth. And they just try for let people to understand, say, the measure way they use, the way they ask the question, them, you go get a response where you go skew against the reality of, and I need to talk about government here, but the ordinary Salone person instinct. We're not generous people, we're not kind people.
We're not concerned about this report at all?
Every time any report placed we at the bottom of any index, that's Salone, we concern as a government.
What will I not do so far from where this report come out?
We look again, it's basically what we do as a government for address the foundational issues. You take GDP, you take what we just don't do now for improved standard of living. You take just last week we announced a price formula for cement. Weeks before we don't announce price formula for gas. We don't keep the economy stable. We don't take fuel over the time. We've been just go up and down. We don't keep unstable. Exchange rates, we don't keep unstable. We don't introduce a digital payment switch system. We will ease the payment system for people to make. So what would they do now for invest feed Salone? Now for invest in people their livelihoods. For make people their life better. That's not something we care about.
Yeah, but when you look at different surveys them of recent in terms of angry rate or thing for it, Salone know they do well in terms of access to food. Then you always say an angry man is an angry man.
Correct.
When somebody no full, not glad at all, we mean say perhaps this report in that context.
I know they say the report wrong. I want let people understand that the report gets a lot of valid things, and some of the indices the way they use they're objective, GDP, things like for example world hunger levels and stuff like that. But I want for the family understand they use plenty broad index, and some of the index and they go mischaracterize Salone. It means they will not get issues. You talk about people like angry one. The Minister of Agriculture been there not so long ago. He talk about just how we don't improve, double, quadruple rice production. We don't look at investments in rice. We don't control price of imported rice in the country. Nobody know they look at that and they say we know they can do something. It don't solve the problem by no means. But we did in the process for make the right kinds of investments. We go make sure say people can get something for it as President Bill envision that.
Quickly, we not get time against the program. How far with the drug baron with the alleged say denier?
Well, today,
how far with government and the Netherlands government?
Which I'll tell you that the landed Attorney General gets a meeting with the Attorney General and Justice Minister for the Netherlands. they don't share the document there with the government of Salone. They study the documents there now and for make a determination based on whether it meets the threshold and with now we on legal process would follow. The commitment would not make it clear that the government of Salone now a law-abiding government will they follow the laws of this country and the extradition laws of this country very clear in terms of the process we will need for follow. And I trust the Attorney General, a man of integrity, well-respected international jurist, and that process they get for follow.
Omar Sheriff still Dey Salone or it all left?
Maybe you could tell me if you be no say Dey Salone in the first
place. No, according to Minister of Information, the police say the individual already been seen at that video now. Omar Sheriff,
so
that Omar Sheriff is still
the
there.
Picture and the video, then they be identify that the name of that individual with them be no say na Salone and be Omar Sheriff.
But that Omar Sheriff now they ask is still there.
But I make I say will not be make a determination at the time. Remember, say the IG been say then go na known addresses of this individual and then not be meet the person there. So at the time, then will be the update. We'll get the ONS boss today in our press conference at 2 o'clock. I think we'll be live as well across different platforms then at 2 o'clock for make the ONS boss will give you an update if they get an update on that issue. But any other updates, my commitment now that will provide the people there with up-to-date information as well.
Thank you very much for joining us at the edition of the Program Minister for Information and Civic Education. We'll be inside the program, the updates from different government activities. Then, plenty thank you. We hope for to get you again for to give you updates on different government activities.